Newport next then, on the back of two very significant away wins. How are you and look, the rest of the lads viewing current form?
Yeah, two important wins. Obviously, not easy places to go, and we've done well to get 6 points out of it. So the next 13 games are massive for us, and we'll take every game at a time, one at a time, and hopefully achieve what we want to achieve this season.
How important is it that in the two recent wins specifically, but not solely, you've shown kind of different ways to win? Meaning, Rovers are a team that like to play where possible, but there's a physical element to it too, and you've done that against Morecambe and Accrington.
Yeah, it's massive. It's what it takes to get out of this league and win games in this division. Not every game's going to suit us as a group, but to show that other side of it, the will to win, the second balls, first balls, it's really important, and there's going to be games like that throughout the season, and we've shown that we can face it and come out on top.
Yeah. Do you think we get a bit blurry-eyed sometimes? The teams that do well, you kind of think, well, they must be playing well every week, but actually across a season, you might play well 10 or 15 times in that campaign. There's scrappy wins, there's fortunate wins, there's strong arm kind of wins, but it all kind of rolls into one if the team is doing quite well.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is results. It doesn't matter how you win the game. No one looks back on the season and says, oh, they played well here or not. The win's the most important thing, and we've just got to keep ticking them off as many as we can until the end of the season.
And in the past, Rovers have kind of set targets about blocks of games, quite famously the back end of last season and getting to the point where they did within the playoffs. Is that sort of similar now, or is it just, look, churn it out game by game? You know where you are in the table, you're rising high in the table, it's just knock it off.
Yeah, I think everyone might view it differently within the squad, the staff. Personally, I take it one game at a time and try and perform in that game and then move on to the next one. But we all know there's 13 games left, and it's basically a mini league at this point. You've got to pick up as many wins and as many points as possible, and I'm sure if we do that, we'll achieve what we want to achieve.
Yeah, and how important is it to sort of stay focused? Because I'm sure, if you're out and outside of maybe the bubble at Doncaster Rovers, it's, so-and-so are doing well, and this team might beat that team at the weekend and all of that, just kind of concentrating on yourself. I mean, the battle for automatic promotion and indeed the title, let's not forget that, in League 2 is exceptionally tight.
Yeah, it's very tight. Obviously, you have an eye on what's going on in the division and whatnot, but the main concern for us is ourselves, and if we take care of ourselves, and we don't have to worry about anything else. So that's, as I said, you always see results and what teams are doing well, but we all know how tight the league is, but it's down to us to perform and get as many wins as we can.
You're obviously playing regularly, so the manager must be happy, but how are you assessing your own form right now?
Yeah, I think the last couple of games have been more like myself. I think, the last few years I've always had that dip in form, and the confidence has been low, but it's all mentally. I think I'm working on that side of my game a lot more now, trying to obviously put myself in the best frame going into games. And yeah, the last game and Morecambe as well, I think I've done well, but it's, as I said, it's consistency for me, and hopefully the next 13 games I can play a big part and do well.
If you don't mind me asking, because I find stuff like this very interesting, such as what? So what are you maybe doing now that maybe 2 or 3 seasons ago, for instance, you weren't doing when you maybe got a dip?
Yeah, I think just taking care of yourself. I think like the recovery side after games, making sure you're stretching for rolling, and then obviously I've read the same book quite a few times in the last few years called Champion Minded, which has helped, just the mental side of the game, and just stuff like that. I think if you take care of your spare time in the right way, I think the performances on the pitch will be better.
Yeah, because it's clearly not just about aches and sprains and recovery. Football. What's the kind of legendary quotes? Something like football 60% mental. By the time you obviously achieve a professional standard, so then it just becomes making sure you're all right.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest part is mentality. you know, you've always heard it growing up, like you can have all the ability in the world. It's, you know, you've got to work hard and work hard's not just on the pitch, it's off the pitch as well. You've got to do the right things and be professional. So yeah, the last couple of years especially, I've tried working on that side of my game as well.
Is that because of either a teammate somewhere or something that sort of footballers these days maybe are just more aware of, more intelligent than perhaps previous generations about looking at the mental side of the game?
Yeah, I think, you know, I've been lucky to work with some top professionals. I'm not going to name names because I'll miss a few off, but you know, the last 5 years I've been playing with some very good professionals, and you just pick up on little things, and you might hear a few things here and there. You just got to take it with you in your career as well. So yeah.
And I suppose as you get that bit older, you can impart that kind of knowledge onto younger lads who are making the way in first team football. Yeah,
definitely. I think, you know, football nowadays, everyone integrates with each other on and off the pitch, and we've got a good group here, and hopefully I can help the younger ones coming through as well.